Welcome back. We turn our attention now to a different issue. It's about 5 months now since the executive sent the name of the EFCC's acting chairman, Ibrahim Magu, to the Senate for confirmation. But since the letter seeking the confirmation was sent on the 22nd of June and read on the floor of the Senate on the 14th of July, the Senate has not acted on the issue. This has prompted some Nigerians, especially members of the civil society, to suggest that perhaps it's time to put in constitutional limitations to compel the lawmakers to act. I sampled the opinion of some lawyers on this issue.
The Senate does not have any limitation of time when they must confirm any political appointee, whether appointed by the president or by any other institution. There is no legal limitation as to time. However, it may make sense to, in the future, put a limitation of time. Maybe amending constitution, the laws are creating certain offices, saying that they may appoint the person or confirm the person's appointment within 1 month, 2 months. If they fail to complete the process, the person should be deemed appointed. Now, I also want to believe that, as for reasons why they have not done that, maybe they do not see the man as eminently qualified. They may see that the person is qualified in maybe competency but not qualified in character. It's all about their choice. They have some discretion on this kind of subject.
Someone who is in an acting capacity ought to either be rejected or confirmed by the national body. But as it is now, for extraneous reasons well known to the National Assembly, which is equally obvious to the general public, that they don't want the anti-corruption battle, which will definitely consume some of them in the National Assembly, to go on. And the only way they can, so to say, stall proceedings in the war against corruption is not to confirm. The effect of not rejecting or not confirming the acting chairman would be that they don't want him there. So literally speaking, he has been rejected, even without any consideration in the first place.
I do not think that limitations should be put on those kinds of issues. Like, for instance, now we have a situation where the president has sent a proposal to take a budget from the national for its 29 billion budget from the National Assembly. Assuming the National Assembly decides to deliberate on matters such as this and does not revert maybe after 5 months, probably because of the intricacies of the matter, are we saying that after 5 months or after 3 months it automatically becomes law? It doesn't. We should not put these kinds of time limits. Time limits may end up defeating the essential purpose of deliberation for the National Assembly. And in any case, the chairman of the EFCC he works at the pleasure of the presidency. The presidency can order for his removal and send a proposal to the National Assembly for him to be removed. So if you find this kind of situations, does the fact that the chairman of the EFCC, that he has not been confirmed by the National Assembly, does it reduce any of his powers? It doesn't. So if it doesn't reduce any of his powers, then why is it a big issue?
Issue at stake has to do with the security of the tenure of the EFCC boss. So where you secure the tenure of the EFCC boss, you give him impetus to fight corruption without looking back. But where his tenure is not secured, then ordinarily he may not be able to fight corruption as he ought to for fear of being removed. So it is very vital and crucial that the Senate does the needful. If they do not want to confirm him, they also have a right to reject it. And where it is rejected, the presidency will act based on the rejection and know the next line of action. But the silence is not too good. That is my take.
And just before we go, let's do a recap now of some of the top trending stories from the courtrooms.
The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, will on December the 14th rearraign a former governor of Oyo State, Senator Rashidi Ladoja, and one of his aides, Chief Wahid Akombi, over an alleged 4.7 billion naira fraud before Justice Mohammed Idris of the Federal High Court in Lagos. The new date was fixed by Justice Idris on Friday, November the 25th, following a ruling on an application by the EFCC seeking for the issuance of a bench warrant on the two defendants for not making themselves available to answer to the charges. The court, however, refused to make any order for the arrest of the defendants owing to their appearance in the court for the ruling. Justice Idris then adjourned to December the 14th for their rearrangement. The same Justice Idris of Federal High Court, sitting on Thursday, November 24th, held that an investigative officer with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Owobo Tosin, is not competent to testify in the ongoing trial of former Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Adeshola Amosu, and 10 others currently standing trial over an alleged 22.8 billion naira fraud. The court gave this ruling to an objection raised by the defendants, who challenged the competence of the witness to testify on the basis that his statement was not included in the proof of evidence as required by law. The defense team argued that this did not give them an opportunity to know the testimony of the witness so as to adequately prepare for their defense. The judge also held that unless the EFCC attaches the statement of the witness to the proof of evidence, he cannot give evidence in the trial. According to Justice Idris, the prosecution's approach in introducing the second witness, Tosin, to testify in the matter without his statement being part of the proof of evidence before the court was alien to the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. A crowd of women gathered at the Federal High Court in Lagos on Tuesday, November 22nd, to show their loyalty to the former First Lady, Mrs. Patience Jonathan. The former First Lady, through her lawyer, had made an oral application before Justice Mohammed Idris, seeking to restrain another judge of the court, Justice Babs Kowumi, from taking any steps on a disputed sum of $15.5 million, which she claims belongs to her. Counsel to the EFCC, Rotimi Oyedepo, however, urged the court to dismiss the application, submitting that the accounts in which the money was kept had long been frozen by the Commission, while the identified directors to the companies had pleaded guilty to an offense of conspiracy and money laundering in an ongoing criminal trial before Justice Kewumi. Justice Idris, in a short ruling, held that he would not go into the merits or demerits of the interlocutory application until it is moved and argued. He then ordered an accelerated hearing of the case. In Ogun State, the EFCC on Friday, November 25th, arraigned the Vice-Chancellor of the Federal University of Agriculture, Olushola Oyewole, as well as the school's Pro-Chancellor, former Minister of Works, Adeseye Ogunlewe, on an 18-count charge of financial malpractice. The two officials were arraigned alongside the institution's bursar, Moses Ilesami. The three defendants were arraigned before Justice Majakodumi of the Ogun State High Court, sitting in Abeokuta, for an alleged misappropriation of 800 million naira. They pleaded not guilty to the charges and were granted bail in the sum of 50 million naira each. The case has been adjourned to the 16th of December. And we round off with the report that Egypt's highest appeal court has again overturned a life sentence handed down to ousted President Mohamed Morsi. The Court of Cassation ordered that the 65-year-old be retried on the charge of conspiring to commit terrorist acts with foreign organizations. Last week, the court quashed a death sentence handed to Morsi in a separate case revolving around a mass prison break during the 2011 revolution. But he is still serving lengthy sentences related to two other cases.
And that's the program for today. If you missed any part of it, you can find it in past episodes on our YouTube channel. Do also give us feedback via any of our social media platforms. I'm Shola Shiyeli. Thank you for watching.